Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today, the 31st of January, last day of the month. And if we start off with Euro USD, you can see we still have a green bar here from the monthly. Look to the left, there's a lot of resistance at this level that we're at right now, and that is at 108.656. So obviously it's going to take a huge catalyst to get us above this. And in all honesty, we've been in a downward trend since 2014 basically, so it's been messy, but that's kind of the reality. So this could be retracement for another leg down, or alternatively it could be setting up for something different. So only time will tell. Now we've got so much data coming out this week. I think this is still what the markets are waiting for. Looking at the 8 hour, we've got a bit of a pin bar rejection here yesterday. Not reading much into that because we are in an uptrend. Look at us above the moving averages here, and then look at my oscillators. There's diversions, low, lower low, low, higher low, and then also we have separated. We start crossing over, that is going to be an explosive move to the upside. So basically what that's pointing out is that there could be a catalyst that is going to drive us hard above this 108.656. And there's so much data coming out this week that any of that data could happen. If you look at this on the hour, above and below the moving averages, look at yesterday, above, below. This is confusion. Stay away. So I am sitting quietly in my corner and observing. Not really interested in getting into this. One thing that I do find is if you do have the time, even if it's sort of after a work day or something like that, is just go back and look what happened with price through the day. I mean, you can see here gap, breakaway gap, and we're on the 5-minute chart here. So a bit of a flag, breakaway gap, moving up, pin bar off structure. See, there's my swing high there. Pin bar off structure, long, stop below there. You do this, there we go. 75 points, yeah, definitely would have got another 200 odd points out of that. And then you can see what happens when you start making lower highs. So just study the price action. I think that's what I'm getting at, is just take the time, use it wisely when you've got lulls like this or when you've got big ranges. You learn a lot. So I'm sit on hands here. I'm not really interested in this. Moving on to US dollar, Japanese yen. Exact same scenario here. We are still stuck in between these two levels. We spoke about them yesterday, 136.00 and 129.568. Not really keen in jumping in here either. If you look at the hour, have a look at what happened on Friday, and then have a look what happened yesterday. Friday was a nothing day, and then we dropped below the lows of Friday and then above the highs of Friday. So that is confusion. That's just pure confusion. One thing that is brewing here is, look at my oscillators. They're separating. I'm above the moving averages. I do have a bit of structure that I've just bounced off. There it is there. There's my pin bar. So an hour close above that, but that's a 208 point stop loss or 400 point gain. So that is one thing that is possible. Does look like a bit of a flag on the 15-minute though. But again, the fact that we are above and below moving averages like this on the 15-minute is not a good idea to chase this. It really is not. So I am sit on hands. Moving on to British pound, Japanese yen, and we are consolidating between the moving averages here on the 8 hour. We do have a bit of a crossover, but until we break above that high or below that low, this is a range and we need to treat it accordingly. So difference here is yesterday we came down, wasn't much structure here, but we sort of off the 155 EMA, then bounced. Now we've got some bad retail data coming out of Asia at the moment. Not Asia, but out of Australia, so that will impact Europe, because people are going to assume it's the same in Europe. Anything's possible, but look at the way our oscillators are separating at the moment. So This is range bound, so I expect we're probably going to find one of these tails here going to offer some buying opportunity. It'll be a quick bar and then it'll fizzle out. So it'll be something like this here yesterday. Quick bar and then just fizzle out. So I don't think anything's going to happen until we've got at least half the data out and half the data is all pointing in the same direction. Then you should see something. If it comes out all mixed and confused, then you're just going to see this range continue. So I'm still sit on hands there as well. And lastly, when we look at Euro British Pound, we are in between the moving averages on the 8 hour. I've got an indication here of a crossover of the oscillators. It's a very weak signal. So from my rules perspective, this is not an opportunity to jump in because we are in between the moving averages. So we've got some rejection happening off the top. So you might as well just put that in there. That is your line in the sand. And then you do have some buyers coming in here off the bottom. And you can see quite a bit of interaction at this level. So these two levels are to the downside here is 087694. And to the upside, this is 088021. Now, you drill down to the hour. You can see big up, big down, big up, big down, big up, big down. Just below the moving averages, sorry, the oscillator sort of flattening out. There's nothing here. This could be inverse head and shoulders forming, but then we'd need a break of this area here at 088021 for that to play out. We've got a bit of a gap to the downside here, so there's also a strong probability that we can move to the downside. So the fact that price is hovering between these two levels just indicates that that is a range. So the market's seeing that as a range at the moment, and we are waiting for data. So my advice today is stay indoors, keep the money in the bank, have a cup of coffee, and just either ignore this or watch and learn what's happening. So just watch price action if you've got the time. And what I mean by that is just get onto a lower time frame, like a 5-minute chart, because you can quickly see where the breakouts happen, where the retests happen, and then you just apply that structure to your knowledge bank. But anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. This is a clear sit on hands day for me across all markets. I'm not really interested in jumping in on anything right now. Hope it helps you somewhat, and just stay awake because something is going to give this week and we are going to get the opportunities. Anyway, catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.